Dart Skill presents Graphs Notes. On the rectangular coordinate plane, also called the Cartesian plane, that is usually drawn on a graph paper having small square grids, we have a number line that is called the x-axis. As on any number line, the number 0 is right in the middle, the positive numbers are to the right of 0. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. And the negative numbers are to the left of 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4 and so on. And there's no end to the number line, reason why you want to put these arrowheads at the two ends. Meets another number line that runs from top to bottom and is called the y-axis. So we have the x-axis, we have the y-axis. And they cross each other in such a way that the 0 on both the number lines are at the same point. That point is called the origin. O-R-I-G-I-N, origin of the coordinate plane. On the y-axis, the positive numbers are above the origin, so we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. And the negative numbers are below the origin, so we have a negative 1, a negative 2, a negative 3, a negative 4 and so on. And like I said, this whole thing is called the XY coordinate plane or the Cartesian plane. Every point on the XY coordinate plane is denoted by a X value followed by a comma and then a Y value. The order does matter. It has to be X first and then Y. The X value or the X coordinate is the number this point corresponds to on the X axis. So for this particular point, the X value or the X coordinate of this point is 2. And similarly, we have the Y value as 2 as well for this point. So we write a 2 comma 2 for this point. Let's have another point. How about this? The X coordinate of this point is negative 3 as it corresponds to the point negative 3 on the X axis. So we write a negative 3 comma, the Y coordinate corresponds to the number 1. So this is going to be negative 3 comma 1. As I already said, the order does matter. So negative 3 comma 1 is different from 1 comma negative 3. And to understand that, let's try and plot or put a dot at the point 1 comma negative 3. So if we have 1 comma negative 3, the first number is x. So we start at the origin and we go to x is equal to 1. We have this point. And then the y value is negative 3. Therefore, starting from that particular value of x, we go to the y value of negative 3, which is this point. So as you can see, this point actually denotes 1 comma negative 3. And that's a completely different point from what we had for negative 3 comma 1. Let's try a few more. Let's try and plot negative 2 comma negative 4 and 3 comma 0 and 0 comma 3. Let's start with negative 2 comma negative 4. The first number represents the x coordinate and therefore we are going to start at 0, move 2 places on the negative side of the x-axis. So we have an x is equal to negative 2 here. And then the value of y is negative 4. So from here we go down 4 units until we reach the point where it shows negative 4 on the y-axis. So the coordinates of this point is -2, -4. How about 3, 0? We start at the origin, move 3 units to the right, the positive direction of the x-axis, and then because the y value is 0, we neither go up nor we go down, and this is the point 3, 0. And that tells us something useful. That tells us that the coordinates of any point on the x-axis is going to be something 0, because the y-coordinate of every point on the x-axis is always 0. Similarly, if we want to plot 0, 3, that is x is 0 this time and y is 3, you start at the origin. Because x is 0, you don't want to go either right or left, stay on 0 and move 3 units above to get to this point, and this point denotes 0, 3. And in the same way, like I said, for the x-axis, every point on the y-axis is going to have an x coordinate of 0.